Alright, Shalom. Shalom, Israel, first and foremost. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto YAHAWAH,
In 200 meters, merge onto Airport Parkway Private.
Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom to the mighty Akim who are diligently waiting to be delivered from this power of captivity. This is Brother Kawaka coming at you with another lesson.
Continue for 3 kilometers.
Slug with another lesson, and today's lesson, I want to get into just in general, like, cast all your cares on the Lord. You know, I've always felt like, and Sluck it, it's not even just me, Sluck it, you could be going through the exact same thing where you always feel powerless. You always feel like there's nothing you can do when you're in a terrible situation. All right, and it's just like you're over here struggling, like going through something, whether it be financial or someone is terrorizing you, making your life a living hell or whatever, and it's because of all that you just feel powerless, you just feel weak, and you just feel like you feel like giving up. All right, well, one of the things is that 2 precepts actually. First precept is casting all your cares on Him, for He careth for you. All right, that's the thing that we really need to remember. Where yes, there are times when there's something that we just can't do anything about it, and we don't have control over our lives. All right, but when it comes to YAHAWASHI, when we are under YAHAWASHI and He's taking care of us, then that's when, like, all that just goes out the window. You don't have to worry about that because the Lord's going to take care of you. On top of that, there's another precept, I believe it's in Psalms 27, I think. Don't quote me on that. But basically, in Psalms, where it says, though a man fall, the Lord upholdeth them. All right, meaning that you could fall, you could have something bad happen to you. You could become homeless, you could become attacked, you could become in the hospital and whatnot. But the Lord made it so that that doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, because the Lord's going to pick you right back up, make you better. All right, and then there's another precept that says it is nothing for the Yahweh to make a poor man rich. All right, roughly paraphrasing. All right, so that's another thing about it, where the Lord is the one that controls our situation. Okay, the Lord can make it so that all that suffering that you're going through, you're financially struggling, you're physically struggling, you're mentally struggling, you're whatever struggling. All right, the Lord is going to just make it so that, okay, well, that's done now. You don't have to worry about that. All right, I'm taking care of my children, my elect. I'm taking care of mine elect. All right. So all that money that you owe, all that debt that you're in, whatever issues that you're dealing with, you're struggling with, that doesn't mean jack shit to YAHAWASHI, because the Lord can just make it so that all that just goes away. The Lord finds some way to do it, and that goes back into faith, because you need to actually believe that. And that's another thing that people lack. People lack the imagination. Okay, because even with our imagination, like, say for example, a self-driving car with lasers, and it transforms into a boat. I think, well, maybe that might be a little more on the realistic side, but okay, an animal that's also a car, that doubles into a car and runs on fuel and doesn't need to be fed actual food. Okay, so that's something like that. Okay, where that's just a random thought in my imagination that I just made up right now on the spot. All right, so something like that, even that is nothing to YAHAWASHI, because He could make something like that happen. He could make Bigfoot be real or anything like that. Like, all these different stuff that we imagine, our imagination is nothing. Okay, because there's a scripture that says, no eye hath seen, nor ear hath heard, the things that the Lord has prepared for us, meaning that there's nothing you can even fathom or imagine that the Lord has prepared for us. So you might be saying, oh man, I really want a super nice self-thinking car, AI car, like freaking Jarvis, like in Marvel's Iron Man and stuff like that, that will do all this stuff for me and whatnot. Alright, that will make me get to skip traffic and all this stuff, a teleporter or whatever. Holy shit, this dude is walking in the middle of traffic. Slakia, but basically all these like imagination, your imagination thinking about all these different like crazy things, the Lord is capable of making all that into a reality. The same way that the Lord can say, okay, well, you know what, this brother has been poor for so long, I'm gonna make money fall out of the sky, or I'm gonna send someone to send him money, or make something happen so that he can get some free money to pay off all his debt or pay for all the stuff that he had. And again, like I'm not gonna lie, I've seen miracles happen. I've seen stuff where like I've been in a very bad situation. I've seen other brothers in a very bad situation, and the Lord made it work out. The Lord made it so like, okay, you know what? Something just happened where it's like, okay, you know what? You don't have to worry about this anymore. You're good, or all this stuff is forgiven, or all this thing is good, or you have extra time. You do this, then throw, or whatever. Or the odds were already stacked against that person, or maybe me. All right. And there was just no absolute way. And that's the thing. I'm going to speak for myself, where the odds have been stacked against me. And, you know, even when things looked bad, you know, I thought, oh, okay, okay, yeah, like there's no way I can win this. There's no way I can make it out of this. There's no way I'm gonna have victory. X, Y, and Z. It's like being in checkmate, and then randomly, for some odd reason, you find an out. There's some out that just makes it so that you have a revived board of freaking multiple queens, or even just one queen that just reverse checkmates the freaking king. It's like stuff like that. Stuff like this happens to the elect, and only to the elect. Okay, the Lord. Let me actually get there's I'm not gonna get it. Power chapter, I think 12 verse 21. I believe that is the thing where it says, "There shall no evil happen to the just." Okay, correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong on the placement, but basically, yeah, like there shall no evil happen to the just. The Lord's not gonna. If you didn't do anything to deserve such judgment, such harsh judgment, the Lord's not gonna let something bad happen to you. The Lord's gonna take care of you. You don't have to worry about all this any type of terrors. Okay, but at the same time, you have to also understand that, you know, you being a part of the Lord's elect, if Lord willing we are a part of that number, you have to actually take responsibility and make the changes to your life to actually be worthy of the mercy that the Lord sets in place for his elect. Okay, so you can't just say, okay, well, I'm a part of his elect, Yahawadah, please give me special treatment. No, you have to. You can't say, oh, I'm an Israelite, but oh, I'm gonna sleep with my neighbor's wife, or I'm an Israelite, I'm gonna steal, I'm gonna kill, I'm gonna do all this stuff, I'm gonna smoke. Well, I'm not gonna talk about smoking weed, but basically, yeah, all this type of stuff. All right. You can't be claiming YAHAWASHI, but in the same breath you curse your brothers, or you do something that is against the Lord. All right, you have to be harmonious in trying to please YAHAWASHI. I believe it's in Revelation. I forgot where in Revelation. I think it's in 4 or 5. Revelation 4 or 5, verse 9 to 12 or something like that, or 9 to 13. Revelation 4 or 5, verse 9 to 13. I'm pretty sure it says something about we were born for the pleasure of Yahawadah. We were born for his pleasures, to please him, not the other way around. We're not here living in order to I want to sleep with the most women as much as I can. I want to freaking be Genghis Khan or whatever. or whoever that guy was that slept with a bunch of or had a bunch of kids, right? Yes, we are supposed to be fruitful and multiply. Yes, there are some times when we do get our own free time to do our own lusts, or not even lust, just not necessarily lust, but our own desires or our own personal hobbies. I think that's the best way to put it. You're allowed to have hobbies, but it's not always the best thing. All right. So yeah, that's another precept where all things are lawful unto me, but all things are not expedient. So whenever you choose to do something, like say for example, I always go to this, playing video games. You're allowed to play video games because there's no scripture that says explicitly, "Thou shalt not play video games," or "Thou shalt not play games," or anything like that. So you're allowed to play a video game, but you need to be able to say, okay, you know what? These video games are taking up so much of my time. They're stopping me from making lessons. They're stopping me from following after YAHAWAH. They're stopping me from doing what I need to do. All right. So as a result of that, I'm going to I'm going to take a step back, or I'm going to just full on drop video games or sell my consoles altogether, because this is not what I need in my life. I need YAHAWASHI above all else. All right. So as a result of that, these are the things to remember in life, where you, as a servant of YAHAWASHI, need to prioritize fulfilling the Lord's will. Fulfilling the Lord's will rather than fulfilling the Lord's will rather than fulfilling your own lust. Okay, so as a result of that, you're going to need to make sacrifices, because that's the thing. That's what Yahawadah said. So basically, what Yahawadah said was, you need to be able to deny yourself. Let him take up your cross and deny himself. Okay, roughly paraphrasing. All right, because you need to be able to deny yourself, deny your own lust, deny what you want to do in order to fully please Yahawadah. And that was something that I had to do myself, where before I used to love eating pork and bacon. I always get the bacon cheeseburgers at whatever restaurants. I would say, "Oh, can you please add some bacon on this stuff? Add some bacon to this." Or whenever I cook, I would say, "Okay, well, let me go buy some bacon and put some bacon on my whatever food and whatnot," and enjoy stuff like that. And that's the thing that I do. I always try to add stuff like that. When I was eating a lot less healthier, okay, not caring about vegetables and all that stuff. All right, and ultimately, when I came into the truth, I realized, okay, you know what, the Lord, and this, comparatively, this is not that big of a deal, because it's just, bacon. Some people might say, oh, who cares? It's just food, okay? But, while I don't have any, major addictions to be able to share with you that's as bad, okay? Because, I don't sleep with another man's wife. I actually find it repulsive. But again, that's another thing where it goes back into the whole bacon thing, where now I find bacon repulsive. I don't want to eat bacon, because the Lord put it in my spirit to just be repulsed and disgusted by bacon in general. Okay, so I basically reject that. I was like, okay, well, is this bacon? No, I'm good. So that's a double side of it, where it's in my mind, I don't like bacon. I find it repulsing now in the spirit, and on top of that, I say, okay, you know what? I'm gonna ask to make sure: is this bacon? Is this bacon? Am I gonna make? I'm gonna make, say for example, if someone's offering me food and whatnot, rather than, oh, I'm starving, I'm just gonna eat anything. No, I say, does this have bacon? Is this pork? And then even if I'm hungry, or if I haven't eaten for a day or two or whatever, I'm still gonna say, okay, you know what? It's bacon, it's pork. I'm good. I don't want that. I would rather I'll just stay hungry rather than eating I'll just stay hungry rather than eating pork. And we have to be able to say that type of stuff, okay? Because this is not no light thing. This is not no small thing where it's just like, oh, it's just food, it's just pork, it's just this. No, like these are the laws, statutes, commandments, and this is the word of YAHAWASHI. The word of YAHAWASHI needs to be important to you, where you have to be able to say, okay, you know what, I would literally rather starve to death rather than Slocky, bear with me. I would literally rather starve to death rather than Slocky. So basically, I would literally rather starve to death rather than eat pork. All right, and that's the type of mindset that we need to have, where it's like, this is real. This is like real shit. Okay, this is not no game. This is not no, you're an Israelite when it needs to be. You need to be an Israelite all the time. Of course, you don't need to to publicize it, but you do need to kind of stand on your morals. All right, you don't need to say, I don't eat pork, or I don't do this because it's like by publicizing it, or try to like as it says in Matthew chapter 6. All right, basically, like doing your alms in front of men, you just need to do it in secret. Do your alms in secret. All right, that's when the Lord is like, okay, I'm dealing with you. All right, I see you doing it, not to be seen, or not to be seen as, oh, look at this righteous man of the Lord. Look at this righteous woman of the Lord. So you're doing it because, Yahawashi is the only one that's able to see it, so that people don't go out and think, view you as holier than thou. Okay, the only thing that matters is Yahawashi saying, okay, you, my servant, whoever, Kawakab, okay, all right, they did what I wanted them to do. They refrained from pork. Okay, so I see them doing that. I see them, trying for me. I see them showing their love and showing their appreciation by, abstaining from the things that I told them to stay away from. All right, I see them doing what I told them to do. Okay, so yeah, these are the things you need to do. These are the things you need to remember. It's going to be hard, but the Lord's going to take care of you, especially when you're trying your best. And that's all you really that's all you have. That's all that you can do. Try your best for Yahawadah. You might not be able to make it all the way. You might not be able to fulfill all these different requests, okay, or do all the commandments, or do everything in like you might accidentally, you might work on the Sabbath. You might do whatever, okay? All that stuff is fine. Just focus on doing what you can. Even though you're not going to be perfect, but the Lord sees your effort. So at that praise, let's edify. I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahawah, Shem Yahawashi, Shem Rakwakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone, above all, and Shalom.